The Apple Watch Series 10 will change everything, being the first ever Apple Watch to adopt Apple Intelligence, Apple's own AI. I'll tell you more about why I think this is happening later on this video, but before, we've got a lot to talk about. By the end of this video, you'll learn about its price, expected features, release date, rumors. Obviously, all the information that I'm going to give you in this video are based on rumors, reports. So once again, let's take this with a grain of salt, but we're all here for the rumors. We get excited about all that stuff, right? Let's start talking about the name, because this will be the 10th generation of the Apple Watch. And we're expecting massive features for this generation of Apple Watch because it's exactly what Apple did with the iPhone. Because the iPhone 10 changed everything for the iPhone. It redesigned its design language and the way that we used our iPhones forever. It got rid of the home button and brought Face ID for the first time. The display went edge to edge. We had OLED for the first time. Features that we see normal now, but all of that was brought with the iPhone 10. So in terms of the name, we basically have three different options that we could expect. We have Apple Watch 10 spelled out with an X, which would mimic the same branding as the iPhone 10. The next option we have is Apple Watch Series 10 spelled out with an X. And the last option would be Apple Watch Series 10 spelled out with a 10. Which of these options do you think Apple is going to pick for its naming? If it was up to me, I would honestly choose the middle one. Apple Watch Series 10 spelled out with an X. Let's talk about the design, because we should expect a very similar design of the current Apple Watch Series 9, but it is expected to get thinner and sleeker. It will have a thinner body, but it is expected to come in larger screen sizes. Pro Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo is reporting that the Apple Watch Series 10 will come in 45mm and 49mm, and both sizes are expected to come in a thinner design. This would obviously help the readability. The actual buttons would be larger and easier to use, and what would happen is that it would make you use your Apple Watch more, because that's what exactly happens when you use an Apple Watch Ultra. When I use the Apple Watch Ultra, I use my Apple Watch so much more because it's just a joy to use. Things like the keyboard, for example. You can actually fully type on it. Can you do it on other Apple Watch? Sure. Yes, you can. But the experience is night and day for me. You might not be too happy about this new design change coming to the Apple Watch, because according to reports, there will be a new magnetic system for the Apple Watch band, meaning that all your precious Apple Watch band collection that you've been collecting for the past 10 years of using an Apple Watch, you can probably throw that away to the trash. Apple is considering this to free up space on the watch itself. I mean, do this right now. Grab your Apple Watch on your wrist and actually take out the watch band, and you can see all that wasted space. And all that wasted space, Apple could adopt a lot of features or better battery life, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Now, one of the things that I could see Apple potentially doing is releasing this sort of adapter that you could potentially still use your old Apple Watch bands and still put them on your new Apple Watch. It wouldn't look as nice, but you wouldn't have to throw them away. Maybe that's something that Apple is looking into, but I have not seen any reports that is suggesting that. So maybe I'm saying it. Apple, if you're listening to this, an adapter would be nice. I don't want to throw these away. I really don't. So what new features will the Apple Watch Series 10 have? Now we're gonna get into the Apple analyst report, the godfathers of Apple rumors. But before we do that, I wanted to tell you why I potentially think Apple Intelligence could come on the Apple Watch Series 10. You see, Apple Intelligence was brought to life in WWDC, and it's compatible with the iPhone 15 Pro, all iPads with the M1 chip and above, and same thing with the Mac, M1 chips and above. Apple didn't say anything about the Apple Watch adopting Apple Intelligence. But if you think about it, what better product is there than the Apple Watch to adopt Apple Intelligence? It's always on your wrist, and the smartest Siri Apple has ever done with Apple Intelligence being on your wrist always, being able to ask it anything on the go, is game changing. Now, I don't see why Apple wouldn't do it. I feel like there's a lot of different ways that Apple could actually adopt this. Now, in terms of Apple Intelligence living on device, that kind of seems a little bit unlikely, because Apple Intelligence obviously needs a lot of power that maybe the tech isn't there just yet. But I could see the power of Apple Intelligence coming from the iPhone. Just imagine Apple Intelligence working from the watch, but all the information from it is being driven by your iPhone 15 Pro or the iPhone 16 Pro later on this year. I mean, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think Apple Intelligence could come in this Apple Watch Series 10? I just think it makes a lot of sense, because the reports and the rumors and the features that are expected to come are amazing, and I'm very excited to tell you about those in just a second. But I feel like the one big thing that's going to make everyone want to buy the big 10th anniversary Apple Watch is missing, and I truly believe that feature could be Apple Intelligence. All right, so what actual features are reported to come with the Apple Watch Series 10 with the godfathers of Apple rumors? Obviously, more battery life, since the magnetic Apple Watch band mechanism will actually bring in more space to do more internal features. well, more battery life is expected to come. And that's one of the biggest pain points on people using an Apple Watch. People want more battery life. And with the Apple Watch Series 10, that could be solved. But one of the big features that is expected to come is blood pressure monitoring. It is said that Apple is facing issues with the accuracy of this feature. So this feature could be announced in launch, but could be delayed. We've had the report for blood glucose monitoring for the past years. We were always waiting for it year after year. And according to reports, this feature is still not available yet. Blood glucose monitoring on your Apple Watch without having to actually pinch yourself for blood could change everything for the diabetic. I mean, if you're diabetic and your sugar levels are way too high or way too low, today's, unless you have something strapped onto your blood 24/7, which by the way is an amazing product, just not being able to have something in your blood and actually alerting you when that's happening could also be life-changing. We'll see if it actually comes in this generation. We'll see. The blood oxygen sensor that we have on the current Apple Watch could bring a new feature with the Apple Watch Series 10, which is sleep apnea detection. There's a lot of people in the world that struggle with sleep apnea, and the Apple Watch could be able to detect the symptoms, why they're causing it, and if they've actually happened during night. This is a health feature that a lot of people are also highly waiting for. Now the display will also be improved. It would have smaller bezels, and the Apple Watch 10 might also feature an updated OLED display that would be more power efficient. So the new redesigned OLED display with the new improvements in actual casing, improving the battery life, these two features could truly mean that we could have, who knows, maybe an extra day of battery life, maybe even 2, or maybe a couple of hours. What do you think? I'm sure that in terms of casing and design for the bands and stuff, it will be a quite big year. Since I said in the beginning of the video, the redesigned band mechanism, I'm sure we're gonna have new band styles, new color for the casing itself. I'm sure the Apple Watch Series 10 will be the most personalizable Apple Watch yet. The Apple Watch Series 10 is expected to be announced in September and probably launching around October. Price tag will be more or less the same as the current Apple Watch Series 9, and I am beyond excited about it. Let me know in the comments if you are too, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.